Hello, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for stopping by. I'm going to do another make on the ABC April challenge. And look, I have an encyclopedia, which I wasn't going with encyclopedia for my prompt, but now I am because today is E. What I was going to do was entomology. Entomology is the study of bugs. Etymology is the study of words, thus the dictionary. And I think what I'll do is make some tags. I have some little bits of paper. I have a selection of stamps, including ones with bugs and words, because, you know, etymology and entomology are not the same thing. What I'm going to start with is find etymology and entomology. Perhaps they're on the same page. Try to put this on the floor and cut out some tags. I'm not sure I did my tags tall enough. I did them 3 by 5, and then I was thinking, oh, maybe that's too short, so I did the last one 3 by 6. So I think I'll start with that one because I like the size of it better. And because of the size of the cereal box, it gives me some little smaller journaling cards. One of the reasons I did them 3 by 5 is this is almost too small to use. Now I could cover this, but I think what I'll do, yeah, I think I'll cover this. I think that's where I will put things. This paper is not so thick that you won't see. You might see that paper through it. So let's collage on top of it. Let me get, sorry if that jiggled you. That will work quite nicely. And it has words on it, so, you know, etymology. Not entomology, those are not bugs, they're words. Sorry, I'm a bit of a word nerd and a geek. I've never known, are you allowed to be both a nerd and a geek at the same time? I hope so. I really suck at glue stick. For anybody who's new here and doesn't know that, I'm like, I use it because it seems to be, like, it is faster if you're doing things like this, but it is not my favorite medium. I'm just trimming the paper back so that it's the same size as the tag. And I'm using the edge of the tag. I don't need to use a ruler on that because the lip of the cardboard is enough to help cut that. And that's more or less straight. Now I'm considering, but I wonder about adding like stenciling or something like that. Like I want, actually I'm not sure what I want. I pulled out a couple more book pages, or dictionary pages. This one has word on it. Also has wind instruments. Oh, and a bug! A bug! It has a bug! Oh my gosh. It also has a bug. Also known as an insect. So if I do one with word and one with, or entomology, and one with etymology and one with entomology, I think that would be rather fun. So I'm going to save that for the other one. And then this one has bug on it. No, bumblebee, that's what it was. It has a bumblebee, which is also an insect. And that's why I took that one. So this one has bug somewhere, bug. Oh, it has like more than one bug. It has all the reason, yeah. Has bug as an insect and bug as I'm gonna bug you. And then etymology. So when I'm all done, I want these dictionary definitions for etymology and entomology to be prominent, and then everything else kind of flow around that. That's that one, and then entomology gets such a tiny little bit. Entomophagus, feeding on insects. That won't be me. Moment of silence for the very thought of that. Oh dear. Okay. There's a couple other things on here. I'm just going to also, in case you wondered what I was doing. So it's got like ento, which indicates insects, entomology, whatever that is, entomology, and a few other things. So I'm going to keep that one as well. And of course, all the dictionary pages are going to go in my book, little book thing, so that I can save those as well. And then that one's Word. So keep that one as well. So let's start with bugs. Bugs. Let's see what I have. I've got a few. I've got the Tim Holtz. I can't remember which ones these are. They're the ones like with the natural history, the mushrooms. Oh, that's really cool. It's got insects, but it's also got a bird wing on it. I think this is the one where he gets his field note stamps from. I think it has mostly... I thought there might be some bugs. I don't have his bug stamp, which would be a very cool thing to have. Oh, look, another E. An enclosure. I'm just gonna take some random bits. Oh yeah, that one's got to go on there. Specimens. I do have his field notes. Stamps out. So I might actually use the stamps rather than these little bits, which could be called ephemera, which is another E. Oh, I have lots of choices in here. Oh, what's this one? That's not on his stamp set, so I think I'll use that one. So when I do something like this, how I start, if you're a beginner, is first off, I'm going to make the tag shape at the top. So I have a bunch of corner punches, and that's what I use when I make tags. You can also use like a credit card or one of those cards that you get in the mail, and cut the corners off to the shape that you like, and then use those to make your corner shape. And I like to do the corner shape first, just so that I have a sense of where everything goes. This isn't very big. It's totally up to you how deep or big you make your tag corners. I tend to like mine a bit smaller. I also have one that makes more decorative corners. You could use something like that. You don't have to buy these at the very beginning. Kind of when you're crafting and you're new to crafting and you're watching YouTube videos, you're going to see a lot of things. You're going to see die cutting machines. You're going to see punches, you're going to see crocodiles and fancy glue and all these different things. Do not feel you need to buy any of it when you start. Start where you are and go from there. When I started, I was so broke, like so broke. I could barely afford to craft. But what I did is I allowed myself one thing a month, and I'm talking one $10 ink pad per month because I couldn't afford any more than that. I want to add some gesso to this to kind of like knock back the color of this. Just trying to sleep on it. So gesso is another thing that comes in very different types. This is Liquitex. It's one of your least expensive options. Every single paint brand is going to carry a gesso. So like Golden will have it. That's going to be a bit more expensive. You can get it from Montmartre. You can get it from Pabio. Everybody has gesso. Another option is white acrylic paint. This is titanium white. You can get buff titanium, which is almost the same color as this book page, which would be a really nice option on here as well. You can get really inexpensive acrylic paints at Dollar Tree, Dollarama, Walmart, any of those places. It's a really good option to start with rather than gesso. Just buy white acrylic paint. Works almost the same way. The difference is gesso has a binding medium in it, like a glue. Gesso is meant to go over unprimed acrylic unprimed canvas so that you can paint on it with acrylic or oils and have your paint sit on the surface instead of absorb into the surface. So when you put gesso on a card, it will mean whatever you put on top of your card is going to sit on it more than absorb into it. So it's one of the things that you can keep in mind when you do it. So if I add ink, for example, like a distress ink after this, if I put gesso on top of it, it's going to react differently if I put gesso on it than if I didn't. So the ink will sit on the surface of whatever it is. You can see I'm really bad with my brushes. These come from Dollar Tree or Dollarama, so they're like meant for hard use and being mean to them. It's not intentional. I'm not intentionally mean to my mediums, but it does happen. And you can see how much that has changed the text. So now you can still see it, but it's not as apparent. You can totally cover this so that the text doesn't show, in which case there's no point in having put the text on there to begin with. This is just to like so that it's not as white or texty. The text is still there. That way this text will be noticeable, but the words that I put on will be more noticeable. I am going to, that's tea dye. I'm going to use my new scorched timber. And I do need to get one of those little blendy things for this one so that I can do the edges better. I want to add, should maybe let the gesso dry. One sec. because I want to add ink to that, it's really important that the gesso be dry. And I'm going to add lots of ink to this because I want it to be really grungy, like really super grungy. I also have, I think I've got peeled paint. So I could also come in a bit like so. I'm quite new to this whole inky thing, so bear with me. And I want to use, this is peeled paint. So I want to use some of this. I really like this green, but I don't like the fact that it oxidizes to yellow. So we'll see how it goes. I'm using this green because, well, bugs live in dirt and grass and things like that. So try to make it look a little bit more like somewhere where a bug would live. Sorry about my arm. And then, so water. I'm doing this because these spray bottles from Dollar Tree, they give a really, really fine mist, and I want more like droplets. I've only ever seen this on Tim Holtz Live, so again, not 100% sure I know what I'm doing. It's all playing, right? Not sure. That's pretty, like, blotchy. Wonder if I need... Well, maybe we'll cover that, like, with stuff. I also have these. I'm going to use my spiced chai instead. And if it doesn't go on completely, I'm not that worried about it because I think I want this to be more almost like a background. Well, maybe not quite that background. And if I try to, sorry if my head is in the way. Yeah, that's a little more ghosty than I wanted. I wanted it a little bit darker than that. But you get what you get. So, you know, we might have to cover that. Also need to remember I need the words on there. And to figure out whether or not I want the full amount of the word on there. Because I could also do it that way. But I'd rather do it that way. And then I think what I might do is try to figure out what I want to do. Yeah, that's what I might do. I need to invest. There's this, these stamps are called Paper Artsy, and they're all like wispy words, and they're really amazing. I watch Words and Pictures on YouTube all the time, and she is one of the creators for them, and they're just the most amazing things you've ever seen. I could even, like, do that. Okay, I think I like that. I'm using Barely Arts for my glue on this. Mostly, I don't like how glue stick would react. And then, yeah, I don't use art glitter glue. Again, when I started doing this, art glitter glue was way out of my price range. It's about twice the amount, here in Canada at least, as the Barely Arts. So I can get a lot more glue for a lot less money, which is quite important. And if you're crafting on a budget or in these difficult times, I think wherever we can save some money is going to be important. I'm gonna, oh, yeah, no, I'll use this. I was gonna use the field note stamp, but that won't work because I already stamped something on there. That would be the reason for these. Do I want that on there as well? Also, if you put something on there and then you cover it all, like, don't worry about that. That's not that big a deal. This I'm not going to cover because I don't want to cover where it says entomology. Oh my gosh. You didn't. You didn't. You did. Ah! I put the wrong thing in the wrong place. Oh my gosh, I put etymology instead of entomology. Oh. That's what happens when the words are almost the same. And of course, Barely Arts is a very good glue. Holds very well. It's now going to be much more distressed for its next application in life. Poor thing. Why not use the bee now? Don't want to use that caterpillar. Yeah, I'll still use the bee. I almost think that works better because that's more torn. I like that better. Trim that off a little. And glue that back down. And put the bug back on, also known as a bee. Now, I want some numbers. There are lots of really good numbers on. And I just lost a stamp on the floor. I think what I'm gonna do, I've got this one as the stamp, so I'm gonna put something like that. Right there, like so. Like that. And what color do I want to do that? This is always a tricky thing, right? When you're stamping, is like, do I want it that color, which is the spiced chai? Do I want it something a little darker? I have this Rustic Brown by Spectrum Noir, and it has a similar color to it, to the Scorched Timber. It's a very deep brown, so I think that would look good. And try to make sure that the whole thing stamps this time, instead of just like a little tiny bit of it. Yeah, much better. From here, using it as a tag, I would put a hole in here and then like some kind of something, like string or something like that. And I think I need to clean my desk, but I'll do that in a minute. I like the size of that, and I cut the other ones smaller. So I wonder if I'm going to like those as much. I think I need to cut another 3x6 piece of cardboard. So now that that's dry, I'm going to ink. I still haven't figured out where the Scorched Timber is in my little stack of inks. For this one, I'm going to correctly use the Etymology, which means I don't need to use the green. So I think I might use this one, which is Spectrum Noir Grasshopper. It's still green, but it doesn't oxidize to yellow the same way that peel paint does. It stays green. But it is water reactive. I actually really like the Spectrum Noir ink. It's almost my favorite. I think I like it more than the Distress ink. And I'm also going to try this green topaz, which has a bit of a blue hue to it. I think I said last time that I am very drawn to the that bluish color. Gonna try a like mistier. Let that sit for a minute and then pull that off. You can see you still get drops, like the little water drops. And then, like with this one, you might not have seen any of it because I forgot to turn my light on. So with this one, I use bugs for stamping. I think with this one, I might use, oh, I have that. I really like that. I don't know where I got this. Like, I have no idea where I got this stamp. It's too nice to have gotten off Temu. I do get stamps off Temu. Might have got it off of, I don't know. I really don't know. It's a very nice stamp. I haven't used it before. Oh, I wonder if my friend gave this to me. She gave me a bunch of stuff. I think actually she did. I pulled it out because it's got butterflies on it. But I'm going to use this Paris thing. And I'm going to stamp that in StazOn again. And try to make sure I get that well stamped. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, like that. All right. Shall we use, if anybody is wondering how I did these die cuts, that's in my last video. I show you how to use embossing powder on them to give them that glimmer. Oh, I like that. I do like that. All right. Huh. Nice little bonus to this. These are not as floppy as they normally are. They are much sturdier with that all embossed up. They still stick down really nicely, which is good. And let's use a little bit of boo-boo tape, also known as, you know, tape. I have a video very early on in my YouTube journey showing how I made this stuff. And I don't use alcohol inks. It's done with alcohol markers. A lot less mess, a lot less expensive. I always find it really tricky to get this off the backing paper. Oh, I know what else I can do. If I can find the stamp in this little stack of stamps, is coffee splatters. Which would help. Like that's a pretty big gaping white bit. Or that one. Let's use that one. And I will use Stays On for that because I'm going to put it over top of that tape. And Stays On is the only one that'll, well, stay on. And realistically, if somebody spilled coffee on it, they would do it before they put the tape on, not after. But, you know, that's what happens when you forget to put something on. And I think I'm also going to put a coffee splatter on this one just because I can. Oh, that looks good. And I think I need a coffee splatter up here too. These coffee splatters would have come off of Temu, full disclosure. Mostly because it's the only place I ever saw any. When I do stuff like splatters, I try to be really, really random so it doesn't look like it was done intentionally, but was just, well, splattered. All right, let me clean my desk and I'll show you my lonely 2 tags. Okay, so this is what I created. So etymology, entomology, which is bugs, and words, and words, and, you know, words. So I hope you enjoyed that video and that you're enjoying this collaboration if you're following along. And until next time, have a lovely crafty day. Bye.